Hey guys, Jonathan Silvernail here. Today I'm going to be going over slow flights. So first off, what is a slow flight? The AFH definition is when the airplane's AOA is just under the AOA, which will cause an aerodynamic buffet or a warning from a stall warning device. So basically what that's saying is your plane's going to get very slow, about maybe 10 knots over the stalling speed. For the specific reference, you can go to the airplane manual for that, but for the Cessna 172, it's about 48 degrees clean configuration and 40 knots, on the dirty configuration. So when we use slow flight, it's mainly used for takeoffs and landings. Takeoffs, so when you're taking off, your airplane's going to be slow. You're going to rotate at about 55 degrees. So when slow flight is used, we're going to be using it mainly during takeoff and landings. So for takeoffs, you're going to be going slow. You're going to be rotating at 55 or 50 for our Cessna 172s. The problem with that is if you rotate too far, you could go into a stall because you've lost so much airspeed. So it's important to realize that as a pilot, to keep that nose down but still maintain that positive VSI. So for the landing, this is also a dangerous time for slow flight because on the turn from base to final, your plane is going to be very slow. You're going to be getting about 65 knots on your final. So when you're making that turn, it's important to maintain proper slow flight so that you don't decrease airspeed below the stall.
Alright, so the next important thing on slow flight is how to initiate a slow flight. So there's three main things that you want to do before any slow flight, say on a check ride or something like that, is you want to do two 90-degree clearing turns. Now the important thing on these clearing turns is to look for other aircraft or obstacles that you could hit during the slow flight procedure. The next thing is maintain an altitude of 1,500 feet AGL. This is very important in case you stall too much, you don't want to be hitting the ground. You want to have sufficient altitude to recover. So next is to establish a reference point. The reason for that is just so that you can, while you're in slow flight, just go in a straight line. So for the dirty configuration, you're going to need to reduce power to approximately 1,500 RPM. And now as that's happening, you're going to reduce in airspeed. Once you're below 110 knots of airspeed, you can start extending your flaps to 10 degrees. After you keep bleeding off that airspeed, once you're below 85 knots, you can reduce flaps to 20 and then 30 degrees. So while you're in that, just stabilize your airspeed around 50 knots and keep it. To catch 50 knots, just pitch forward and you should be able to catch it. Now, what's so different about slow flight is your controls are going to be reversed on you once you hit low airspeed. So your throttle is going to control your altitude. Putting more throttle will increase your altitude, and taking out throttle will decrease your altitude. And pitching is going to control your airspeed. Pitch up for less airspeed and down for more airspeed.